So that it would actually slow down his campaign because he'll have to show up in court. But is there anything else that stops him from getting to that November election date? And then if he becomes president, does that solve everything, or that does not absolve him from these charges?
Great question. Okay. It could. Now, has a president ever pardoned himself? The answer is no. But constitutional scholars will debate whether it's even possible. I'm a lawyer. I think it is possible. I don't see why, if the president can pardon everybody in the country of any crime whatsoever, why couldn't he pardon himself? So he might do that. In fact, if he actually gets convicted of any of these things, by the way, there's nothing about running for president that says you can't run for president if you're a defendant in a criminal trial. That's not a it's not a disqualifier. You just have to be 35 years old, U.S. citizen, or you're born in the United States. So there's nothing about all these criminal charges put together, including convictions, that keeps him from becoming president. He might need a prison pass to get sworn in, but we'll see. But then as soon as he takes his hand off the Bible, he says, "I hereby pardon myself." He could do that, and I think that would stick. So that would wipe the slate clean. And Brian, we've been talking about some stuff that sounds crazy, but it's not. All these things are well within the realm of possibility. I get people say, "Oh, that'll never happen," but time and time again, it does happen. RFK, I think, will win New Hampshire. Joe Manchin, I think, will run as a third party. Will Trump be convicted? I would say on the merits, he shouldn't be. But now you're into jury selection. That's a whole other science. But he might be. But that won't stop him from running. Would it even, far from deterring people, would it even generate some sympathy? Like, I'm kind of lukewarm on Trump, but man, I've never seen a guy who was more singled out and persecuted since Joseph Stalin. We used to take people down the basement and shoot them. So maybe I'll vote for the guy just because he deserves it. Something, I don't know. It's I know all the factors. It's hard to predict all the outcomes, but you can sort of set up a fan of probabilities, but they all look implausible. But one or more of them will play out. And the other one, not that you ever wish for this, but Biden could just die. I mean, he's an 80-year-old with the physique and condition of a 90-year-old.
I just want to alert everyone to an important video that you've just recorded that will not be available to the public. Here, you discuss the upcoming geopolitical shockwave of what you call the most significant development in international finance since 1971. But then you explain how anyone can position themselves to profit from this crisis. Our viewers can access that video at londonreal.tv/Jim, and I highly recommend that everyone go watch that immediately after our conversation.
I know 80-year-old guys who are like 60. They're fit and sharp, and nothing. Age is not a determinant. It's a factor, but it's not a determinant. So I know some pretty sharp 80-year-olds, but I also know Biden's an 80-year-old is more like a 90-year-old. He's had 2 aneurysms, and they did the surgery back at a time when you didn't have the microsurgeries and the techniques we have today. And a doctor 20 years ago would have said, this guy's going to not age well for that reason. So we also saw the stumble at the Air Force Academy. I've said to people for a long time, I said, because Biden doesn't appear in public much, he can't really because he can't talk. But I said, if you see Biden on TV, hit the mute button. I think they call it MOS in Hollywood, without sound from the German directors, but watch it without sound. It's scarier than actually listening to the words because you see the frailty. That's what comes through. Right. Well, what struck me about the fall, that was sad. He couldn't get up. Everyone takes a fall every now and then, maybe, but he couldn't get up, and they had to physically lift him up. Go back to Hillary Clinton doing the faceplant at the 9/11 memorial. They had to drag her into the SUV. This stuff, you can slough it off or spin it, but people notice, and the impression they get from video is, television, etc., is much more powerful than all the words you wrap around it.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
This course has been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.